Hey guys, this is Coach Bill with Fat Loss Made Easy. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. What is today? Today's Monday. Today, guys, topic is actually I'm getting. I mean, you guys have heard me talk about. I belong to quite a few different groups now because I just want to list or read questions these people are asking for whatever issues that they have. I'm in some keto groups, ketogenic groups. I'm in some intermittent fasting groups, and I'm in some type 2 diabetic groups. But I'm really getting a lot of good content out of these being in these groups and reading all these questions because all three of the type of groups that I belong to, they all have something in common. And so it actually gives me an idea of what somebody is doing, a brand new person, what they're looking for, or if they're confused about different issues, or confused about the meals, or confused about the programs, certain low-fat programs. Also, I get a lot of people that are confused anyway because they go on Google looking for a fat loss program, and you can spend a couple of years reading all the different programs out there. So I'm getting some really good content from this, and that's what actually brought about the topic today. And the topic today is don't miss out on the health benefits by not doing this. What brought about this topic is, and I think I did a video about this a long time ago, but in all these groups, well, actually in the keto groups and in the intermittent groups, everybody is totally focused on one thing, and that is to lose belly fat or to lose what weight they have, or fat weight. I like calling it fat weight. I don't like calling it weight loss because people are so focused on getting on the scale that they are thinking that this is how you measure your fat, losing your fat, and it's not. It does not measure fat loss at all. It measures your poop. It measures fluids. It measures all kinds of stuff. You might be retaining water that day because of a meal you had the night before that might have a lot of sodium in it, so you might be retaining a lot of water. It just doesn't work. So I like to call it fat loss, and we have, for our clients, we have a certain way we like to measure for that. But anyway, on the intermittent fasting groups, they're more focused on one thing, and that's doing intermittent fasting to lose fat weight. On the keto groups, they're only interested in doing one thing, and that's the type of meals they're eating that will put them into fat burning. But what's happening is they're missing out on the most important factor of why you should be doing high fat, low carb meals and why you should be doing intermittent fasting. Because they both have a huge health benefits. The high fat, low carb meals, a lot of our medical professionals are using it for lowering blood sugar for type 2 diabetics. There's also doctors now and researchers that have done enough research to publish and to actually do seminars to other doctors that they can actually starve cancer cells by putting somebody on a high-fat, low-carb meals. And now they've realized that if they combine it with intermittent fasting or prolonged extended fastings, it even escalates. It even kills the cancer cells even faster. And it's pretty logical why. And some of these doctors, one particular from Boston College, found out by his own patients who with brain tumors, he shrunk the tumors by putting them on these high-fat diets, low-carb meals, and actually recorded the brain cancer actually shrinking. Because what's he doing? He's eliminating the main source of fuel that causes cancer to grow. and that's sugar. High carb meals convert to glucose, which is sugar. You eliminate that, and what happens? Cancer can't live. That's what they're finding out. Now he's actually teaching other doctors the same method. But the problem is that everybody's focused on the fat loss, and they're not looking at the overall health and the prevention of getting some kind of a major medical issue down the line. And so that's where I'm getting on with this topic and explaining to people that both these programs, the intermittent or the high fat, low carb diet, has been around for 2,000 years. Intermittent fasting and extended fasting has also been around for 2,000 years. So they're both been around for a long time. So they're not a fad diet. And so what I want people to, what you need to know is don't focus so much on, I mean, the fat burning is a byproduct. Change your mindset, guys. Change it to where you want to have overall health. That's what you're looking for. We live in a society now where environmental toxins is overrunning our bodies. Not only in the food that we're eating, but the air you're breathing. And now even the water is so contaminated, the World Health Organization actually is warning people that bottled water, 90-something% of the bottled water now has plastic particles in it. You think that might do some damage to your body or to your brain if you're consuming it and you're drinking a gallon a day? Absolutely. So because of the environment and because of the body, or because of what we live in, and it's so, the environmental toxins are so heavy and so bad, the body doesn't have a chance to clean itself out. So that's why we have an epidemic of type 2 diabetes in the young and the old, and that's why we have an epidemic, and the rise of cancer is still rising. All kinds of diseases are now escalating because the environment is so toxic, and there's people just are feeding themselves with toxic foods, and they're not actually letting their bodies detox. And so what happens is that your body becomes so acidic and so overran by toxin, your immune system just can't keep up. So let's set aside the mindset of the high fat, low carb diet just to burn fat, and let's change the mindset of doing intermittent fasting just for burning fat, and let's talk about overall health. And I'm going to give you just a few examples of the benefits of intermittent fasting and extended fasting. Because that seems to be where people aren't really, they're not combining it with their meals, and they're missing out on a lot of phenomenal health that you get from this. Number one, for you seniors, those of you that are 50, 60, 70 or older, by doing intermittent fasting, by combining it with a low-fat, high-fat, low-carb diet, combining it with intermittent fasting, you're going to slow premature aging down. There's a lot of research out there proving this. And the reason for that is the USC Medical Center found out that if you do a couple of 72-hour fastings two or three times, or once every 2 or 3 months, you're actually going to be producing brand new stem cells, and that's going to help to slow premature aging down. The byproduct of both of these programs is accelerated fat weight. You're going to lose fat weight. So if you combine the intermittent and extended fasting with the high-fat, low-carb diet, you're going to accelerate fat weight. That's a byproduct of it all. It also helps, intermittent and extended fasting plays a huge part in balancing out your muscle-building hormone, especially for those of you seniors out there that are looking to develop or to produce more or add muscle. because by doing intermittent and extended fasting, the research is showing that you're elevating your growth hormones in women and men and other growth muscle building hormones also, but you have to do intermittent fasting to do it, or extended fasting. And that's how you keep your growth hormones elevated throughout the day. And what is that going to do for you seniors out there? It's also going to help slow premature aging. Research has shown that men can actually raise their growth hormones by 2,000%. Research is also showing that women can raise their growth hormones by 1,300%. Emily and I were actually of age, and we are prime examples of the truth because we get our blood tests done every 6 months, and both of our testosterone levels are at the teenagers' levels. So documentation always overrules conversation. Athletes. Research has shown that intermittent and extended fast helps to produce new muscle stem cells so that they can recover and perform much better. So the recovery time is much better. There's plenty of research showing that. Research is showing that both high-fat, low-carb diets and intermittent and extended fasting help with many disease models, including, you guys know that when, in the ancient days, a lot of the scholars did extended fastings to have clarity of the brain. I mean, there's plenty of research to see both of these programs, like I said, our founding fathers of medicine have been using them. It's not a fad diet. It's been around. Problem is, nobody is really talking about it and not talking about the benefits of it. So both of these programs, especially intermittent fasting and extended fasting, helps brain clarity. It also helps you, well, let's see, it also is going to help you detox. I see in both these groups, the keto group, the intermittent fasting group, and the type 2 diabetic groups, that everybody's talking about doing vegetable fasts, or detoxing, or tomato detoxing, or egg all these weird detoxing things. You don't have to do that, because it's really not detoxing you, because the food you're consuming has got so much toxin in it anyway, because of the toxins from the pesticides and stuff. You can't get away from it. You're just dumping the toxins right back in your body, so you're not detoxing anything. But the body has a natural way of detoxing itself. It's called autophagy, which means self-eating. And autophagy was just discovered in 2016 by a researcher who won a Nobel Prize. And he determined that by putting your body in this environment of autophagy, you're naturally detoxing the body of your toxins. And you're giving your body a rest from foods, from digesting foods at the same time. So that's a huge benefit. The other thing is, both the intermittent fasting groups and the keto groups are talking about they want to accelerate their fat loss. Well, when you're doing intermittent fasting and extended fasting, what are you doing? You're not consuming any foods at all. No calories. Just water and black coffee or green tea. That's it. No calories, no food. For a period of time. Could be 18 hours. It could be 20 hours. It could be 24 hours. It could be 36 hours or 42 hours. Whatever. But if you're not consuming any calories during that time period, then obviously you're not burning any of the fat from the foods you're eating because you're not eating anything. So where's the body going to get the energy in order to operate throughout the day? The body was designed, guys, to burn fat. So what's it going to do? That's right. It's going to dip in your own fat stores. Now we're talking. Okay? So by doing an extended fast, 20-hour fast, or 23-hour fast, or 36-hour fast, how much of your own fat are you going to be burning throughout those hours, quite a bit. But you just can't jump into it. There are steps you have to follow, and that's why you need a coach, because he needs to walk you through the steps first. Because your body doesn't know how to burn fat yet. You've been carboholics for so many years, the body only knows how to burn carbs. Got to teach it to burn the fat first. And so what you're doing here is basically teaching your body to burn fat 24/7. And so while Emily and I are between the sheets asleep, we're burning fat because we're fat adapted. We've taught our body how to burn fat. And so those are some of the benefits that you're going to get. Now, I mean, those of you that are type 2 diabetic, these two programs I'm talking about are going to lower your blood sugar. That's a no-brainer. Because if there's no high carbs, if you're not eating any carbs, then your body's going to be burning fat. And remember what I said in the past, high carbs, high starchy carbs, a lot of carbs, spikes the insulin high. Proteins, like meats and eggs and nuts and stuff like that, spikes glucose a little. Fat spikes glucose a little, if any at all. Okay? So if you're eating a higher fat meal, and your last meal is at 6 o'clock, and it's a higher fat, very low carb, and you're going to fast the next day for 18 or 20 or 23 hours, then you've just set yourself up. You're already burning fat even before you do an intermittent fasting or an extended fast. You're already burning fat. So how much more fat are you going to burn? That's why people are seeing such good results when they're doing consistently and doing it right, the right meals. They're accelerating and seeing the results faster than most people can. Okay, so, but there's a confusion. There's some confusion among people that are listening. There's a lot of doctors out there that are misleading people about the ketogenic diet and intermittent prolonged or extended fasting. They're not educated. You guys know that doctors don't get very little, if any, education in nutrition at all, and so they have no right to voice their opinion when it comes to nutrition or debunking a program that's been around for 2,000 years, because they're not educated in it at all, period. And they're giving false information that could possibly help their client get off medication. But instead of getting down from their high horses, they would rather just voice their opinion on something they know nothing about, and that could be very dangerous. So the biggest mistakes I'm seeing out there in both these groups right now is lack of guidance when they're first starting out. The first 60 and 90 days of your journey to lose that weight is very important. And the lack of knowledge is going to cause them to fail every single time, and most of them are. I've seen more and more people come back and say, I just can't do this ketogenic diet, I quit. I'm seeing that more and more. The other thing is that the health professional or the doctor or the coach needs to explain to their client, hey, you know what? Yeah, we're going to lose weight. We're going to lose fat. But let's look at the bigger picture. Let's look at the long-term picture. Wouldn't you think it'd be much better to prevent a medical disease out there, because there's so many people getting cancer, so many people getting type 2 diabetes? Why don't we find out the root cause of this and let's just prevent it? And those guidelines or those steps I told you, or those benefits I told you, is going to keep you guys from getting a major medical disease in the future. Now, I'm not saying even healthy people can get cancer. Blunt trauma can cause cancer to start up. Shock can start cancer, even in a healthy person. A person like, you know, like like us. We're pretty healthy. Now, am I immune to cancer? Absolutely not. Because, like I said, blunt trauma can cause cancer. If you get in a car accident and you hit yourself really hard, that could activate the cancer cells. Anything like that can happen. Now, because we do eat healthier and we do detox on a daily basis, we have our Emily and I and our family members and the people that are doing these two programs, we have a better chance of not contracting some kind of a medical issue, um, and that's what we're looking for. Now, the byproduct of all this, you guys, is absolutely fat loss. But we really need to change the focus. I think to my clients, I try to explain to them that let's look, and I'm getting more people saying this, that you know what, I understand it takes a while to lose the weight because we've had the weight on for so long. Your body is really happy being overweight, and it's going to sabotage. It's going to do whatever it takes to not let you. It's called body set weight. That's what it's called. So your body is going to fight against you over and over again from you trying to lose the weight, but you can overcome that. The guidance, the structured meal plans, and of course other things you can do. And that's why a coach is really what you probably should look into. So what I did, guys, is I'm writing a couple of ebooks. I'm going to publish on Amazon Kindle and some other bookstores. And one of them is Beginners Weight Loss Mistakes. You can go to Amazon Kindle. You can go to type in books. Type in Beginners Weight Loss Mistakes, Bill Mabry. It'll pop up. And if you're looking to get ready for summer, or you're looking to get ready to get that bathing suit on, go to Amazon Kindle, buy the book, and read it before you start. Because by you eliminating the mistakes from the very get-go, you're going to save yourself a lot of time. And so in that particular book there, I explain to people what to watch out for and what not to do, and how to break through plateaus and things and meals. I'm going to follow up with another ebook I'm going to publish probably here soon. I've already got the draft done. And the other confusion I'm seeing is people don't know what a true ketogenic or high-fat, low-carb meals are. They're confused. They're going to Google and they're confused. They think it's a high-protein Atkins diet. It's absolutely not. They start off by eating too high of fats at first because their body's just not ready for that, and they have issues. So I went ahead and drafted out an ebook that explains why, or what is a true high-fat, low-carb diet and what makes it so successful. And I put a little bit of science in there too. Okay. So guys, that's our topic for the day. I hope you saw some value in it. I would really hope that more people would watch this video and reboot their mindset to these two programs that have been around for over 2,000 years. Our founding fathers of medicine have been using it. The religious leaders from decades ago have been using it. Our bodies have not evolved away from burning fat. Our body wants to burn fat. Our bodies were never designed to become carboholics or eat a lot of carbs. We're not cows, and we're not monkeys either. So we're not supposed to eat a lot of fruit either. Our metabolism and digestive system just can't. They spike insulin, and so that's why this country is obese. That's how we're known by other countries, as being a very obese country. You know, you just go down to the beach and sit by the pier for 3 or 4 hours and look at all the young people there. That'll give you a good idea of why. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, I hope we change your mindset. Look at the long-term effects of these two programs and how they'll help prevent you from getting a major medical issue. But the byproduct is always going to be you are going to lose that fat weight. That belly fat is going to come off. And it doesn't matter if you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. These two programs, they work for everybody. So guys, you can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry, subscribe to it. I've got some health videos on there. You can also go to my Facebook group page, Fat Loss Made Easy. These videos are on there also. And also, I have some fat burning recipes, my favorite ones that I put in the downloads. And for those of you that join the group, there's a gift in there, and it's an ebook on how to correct weight loss mistakes. Okay, so I hope you guys saw some value in this, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. You guys have a great rest of the week.